Hey guys, so today I'm going to address a few helpful, some would call them exploits, I would call them competitive glitches that are going to be useful for any aspiring competitive player or anybody who wants to stay abreast with the competitive scene. I'm also going to be covering some edits that are very important to be using in build fights, as well as how to not waste mats and to edit instead. First off, I'm going to start with turbo farming. If you haven't seen turbo farming done by Tfue or King Richard, you basically get a free swing every other swing with your pickaxe. The way to do this is you go into your locker and either take the wave emote or the snap emote or something else that is a short animation, and you just make sure that's selected to one of your locker emote slots. For mine, it's locker emote 4. It's fourth from the left. This one's first. This one would be second, third, fourth, and so on. Then what you'll do is you'll go into your settings. You'll go into your inputs, and you'll scroll all the way down until you get to your locker emote slots. Since my wave emote is bound to locker emote slot 4, I'm going to bind that to my right mouse button. This isn't going to change anything with your ADS when you have your weapon out, or you're changing building material when you have your planner out. This is just going to alter what happens when you have your pickaxe out. It's not going to change anything else. So now I guess we'll get into the game. Alright guys, so we just landed in Wailing Woods, and I'm going to demonstrate the turbo farm. What you're going to do is you're going to left click, then immediately right click. And what that's going to do is it's going to make you do your wave emote, like this. And you don't need to release your finger off of your primary fire left click. What I mean by that is you hold left click the whole time. After a swing, you just tap right click. You can only do it every other time. If I try and do it twice in a row, it doesn't work. It says not ready yet. See? So, this will help you harvest materials a little bit faster and give you the edge towards the beginning of matches. It'll also help you break down wood walls in the middle of build fights pretty easily. So yeah, there's that one. And also really quick, be careful when you're reloading guns, especially sniper rifles, whenever you have your right mouse button bound to your wave emote. Sometimes when you're reloading the weapons, it'll give you a glitch where you cannot fully reload for a couple tries, and you'll actually be stuck in the wave animation, and that's not too good whenever your head's peeking out. So be aware of that. Alright guys, so I'm just going to do a quick demonstration of ghost peeking here. I'm going to be using spacebar and control. There's nothing you could do. You can see my head the whole time. This was sort of brought into the limelight by Tfue. What you can do is basically hold left click and spray somebody down by using control to crouch and then spacebar to uncrouch. So in slow motion it would look something like this. Your head is unable to be seen. Spacebar to uncrouch, control to crouch. Spacebar to uncrouch, control to crouch. I would recommend doing this very fast. Don't try and practice it slowly like this, because the rhythm is very specific, and you're going to have some pretty decent hand-eye coordination to do this. But once you get it down, it's going to be muscle memory, and I'd recommend working on that muscle memory as soon as possible instead of avoiding it by just doing this. So you're going to just have to hold it down. See how I hit my ramp a few times, or my wall? You're going to be doing that quite a bit. You're going to be needing to replace it a lot, but it's going to be worth it, especially when you're in competitive matches. This is something that is almost necessary if you're going to be a competitive player at this point. Alright guys, now I'm going to be going over some different pyramid plays and ceiling edits. I'm pushing this guy here at Loot Lake. He's above me. I'm going to try and do some ceiling edits to kind of show you what I mean. Hopefully he notices me. Hopefully I don't run out of mats. Come on, notice me. Damn it. He didn't really notice me. But you kind of see I did it once. Put a ceiling. Oh, Jesus. And you edit through and keep running, and you don't break your sprint. It's a good exercise to practice as well, if you're trying to warm up for building. This is something that a lot of competitive players are utilizing, and the ones that aren't are getting punished for it heavily. So that's the roof edit that I'm talking about whenever you're building up to somebody. You see Nick A30 doing it a lot. Hold on, where is this guy? I need his mats. Alright guys, so now we're going to talk a little bit about pyramids. Pretty much every competitive player is using pyramids at this point. A very popular way to use it is if you're boxed in and you're turtling. You edit your roof. And you can, sometimes, if you do it right, get a floor above. See how I did that right there? There's a certain way you have to do it. I'm not very good at this one. There it is. You can just totally box yourself in and just repeat over and over again. The more common way, actually, is going to be to break out and do a double ramp out of a 1x1. You can use your 2-panel pyramid edit to change that into a ramp. It's a pretty good way to retake high ground in certain situations. Also, if a player is underneath you, let's say you've taken the high ground on them, you don't know how to utilize the high ground once you've gotten it. A good option... Come on. A good option... There's a player behind me. A good option is to put your own pyramid down. This is going to force them to either go out the floor or one of the sides, unless they choose to edit their roof and try and replace their own pyramid. This gives you a huge advantage over the player. They can't build a pyramid above them to try and trap you in. They can't easily double ramp out. It forces them to make a decision where no matter what, they're going to be in a bad spot afterwards. Also, if you wanted to, you could do one of these, kind of fake them out, drop down, do this. They might edit their roof at that point. You could then box them back in. Just a bunch of different things like this. So yeah. That's pyramids, that's roofs, and all that shit. And the last thing I want to touch on is regarding saving your mats and using more edit plays during build fights. I've been watching a lot of clips of experienced players in build fights. One thing that I've noticed is some of the newer players will just react to somebody building up on them by building straight up themselves. They don't really use edits during their build fights. I don't know if it's because they're not confident in their editing ability, they're not used to doing it or what, but they choose to instead just build straight up. They'll just do, like, for example, they'll just do this. You know, they'll just go straight up when a simple edit would suffice in one of those situations. Oh, jeez. This guy's so sweaty. Well, I guess this is a good example. Now I have very limited mats. This is going to be especially more prevalent now that Epic has said that they don't like the mat cap and they might be reducing it. You're going to need to learn how to edit. Uh-oh, I'm dead. GG. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have for this video. I wanted to make it a little shorter and kind of cut it down. I know my previous videos have been pretty long and drawn out with not too much commentary, so I thought I'd make one that was a little bit more to the point with some of the stuff that I thought would benefit the most players who are trying to get into competitive. I'm thinking about making another video pretty soon on different loadouts that are very useful for different competitive formats between solos, duos, and squads, because the loadouts that you're going to be using in those game modes are going to differ quite a bit from one to the other. But for now, that's going to be it. Again, my name is Regan57. I stream on Twitch at Regan57. That's the channel name. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 days a week. I post my one day off in my Discord. Discord is the easiest way to get a hold of me if you have any questions. You can join my server and then just PM me directly there, and I'll be able to answer any of your questions. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.